Hey fam. Hey. Look, did y'all think I wasn't gonna make it? I made it. It's day 3. It is day 3, y'all. Day 3 of what? Showing up, showing out, showing some gratitude. Yes. Have you been being grateful? Did you do your list? If you didn't and you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch yesterday's video. We are doing gratitude we are showing gratitude. We are practicing gratitude for the month of March. I'm live. I can't go back and hit the rewind button like I did yesterday when I messed up. But that's all right. Who is it? It's your girl. It's Michelle Allen Franklin, honey. It is Miss Michelle D.I., Mrs. Divine Intervention. Why? Because there are no coincidences in this world. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Miss Community Builder, you see it. Why? Because you know I'm always giving you the good information. I'm giving you the things that you need, honey. Yes, for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotions. Now, this month of March, I've been very transparent and I've been talking about the losses that we have, the grief that I am going through currently in my life, because there's so many other people out there grieving. When I sat up and I thought about this, I was like, man, I keep hearing about all of these people that are passing away. And one thing that I know for sure, when people pass away, it's so easy for us to get stuck, y'all. It's so easy to get stuck. It's so easy to go to a dark place. It's so easy to disappear. hmm But, and I've done that, right? I've done that. I think we've all done that before. And even if you haven't suffered a loss of a loved one, grief is literally just a loss. Maybe a loss in the relationship that you thought you were going to have. Maybe a loss in a job that you thought you were going to have. Maybe a friendship, whatever it is just simply a loss. And people are going through. And what I've noticed is that this time around in my grief, because I'm practicing gratitude and I am in a place where I feel like I'm just closer in my foundation of faith, closer with God than I feel like I've ever been in my life. It's just different. And even though I want to disappear and I don't feel like my spirit won't let me. And I feel like it's because I've been very intentionally practicing gratitude, looking at the small things that God provides for us each and every day, the people in my life, the things that I want to do, my job, the little things that I have taken for granted. And I thought, why not share that? That's some things that we don't do, right? We like to get to where we are and we don't want nobody to know. We don't want nobody to know how did you do it? How did you do it? How'd you do it? What you doing? Gratitude, boo. Very intentionally. Every day since June, last June, I've been practicing gratitude. So we're on day 3, honey. It is Miss Rhonda Byrne's The Magic. That's what we're doing. You don't need the book. You can order it if you want to. You can get it at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, wherever you get your books from. I'm sure it's there. Amazon will have it to you the next day. You can have it tomorrow. But we're going to go over it and practice. I'm going to tell you how I got into this real quick. Is a friend of mine's that I met, beautiful spirit, that I met on Clubhouse. She had invited me into the group like back in October. And when the group first started, and I was like, girl, anybody got time for that? I ain't doing that. No, that's not in my schedule. Girl, no. And at that period of time, I had just left my job that I'd had for 8 years. And I was just busy. You know what I mean? I think I was mentally busy. I was just kind of exhausted, just trying to stay afloat. You know what I mean? Life was lifing. And I was like, girl, bye. No, thank you. But no, I ain't got time. And so I didn't realize that during that period of time, and there had been periods of time where I just felt like, you feel like you lose yourself for a certain amount of time. And so I found myself complaining, about everything. And I was like, man, I just didn't feel like myself. And so when she came back around and she invited me again in June, I said, you know what? I don't believe in coincidences. So I said, you know what? If she's inviting me again, I must be meant to do this. And I said, I'm gonna just practice gratitude for the month of June. And that's gonna be it. That's good enough. And again, here it is, what, freaking March. Every day since June, been practicing gratitude, because it's one of those things that once you start doing it, you realize how much you've taken for granted, and then you realize the impact that it's having on your life. Just like I'm realizing as I'm grieving, I had no idea. I'm realizing as I'm grieving this freshness, what an impact it's having and what a difference it's making me process, and how I'm processing the grief. So I'm sharing it with you guys. Um, it's day 3. It is called Magical Relationships. One of the biggest things too, and why I'm doing this late, is I want you to do it for the next day. I want you to listen to it, do it the next day, and then come back prepared. I literally just decided on Friday. I was in my gratitude group. We were talking. One of the guys called me out. He said, Michelle, you've been hiding. He was quoting something that I said the other day. And I said, hey, when you quote me, put my name next to it. He said, why you want me to put your name next to it? Because ain't nobody gonna know your name, because you're sitting out here hiding. You're not doing what you're supposed to do and walking in your purpose. Really? He called me out, y'all. He called me out. So I was like, you sure right. But you going to put my name next to my quote, and I'm going to be showing up, boy. I'm going to show up. Oh, you going to see me. It's going to be fine. And so I took that as a challenge. I said, you know what? I don't feel like showing up. So I'm going to show up every day for the month of March. Why not? Look, why not? And I challenge you. Because it's something that you don't want to do, right? It's something that you don't want to do. Do it anyway. Erica Mason has this song, honey. Do it anyway. Ain't there's no perfect time. There's no whatever. There is, I promise you, there's no perfect time. If you're waiting for the money, it's not coming. Go ahead and do it anyway. Do it broke. Do it without knowing all the knowledge. Go ahead and do it, and go ahead and start. Learn from your mistakes, pick up and do it again. Why not? Okay. I'm done. Day 3, magical relationships. This is very, very cute. So I'm going to tell you what the practice is really quickly. It is choose 3 of your closest relationships and collect a photograph of each person. Choose 3 of your closest relationships and collect a photograph of each person. With the photo in front of you, write 5 things you are most grateful for each person in your journal or on your computer. Begin each sentence with the magic words, thank you, include their name, and what you're specifically grateful for. Carry the 3 photos with you today, or put them in a place where you can see them often. Look at the photographs on at least 3 occasions. Speak to the person's face in the photograph and thank them by saying the magic words, thank you, thank you, thank you, and their name, thank you, Haley. Before you go to sleep, we're not doing the magic. We're not doing that practice. So I'm not going to tell you that part. Let's see. Yes. Okay. And so, of course, step 1 is every day. Remember I said yesterday, every day you're going to do the counting your blessings. That's the number 1. Do that every day regardless. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for your blessings as you can. And so this is magical relationships. Imagine if you were the only person on earth. You would have no desire to do anything. What would be the point in creating a painting if no one could see it? What would be the point in composing music if no one could hear it? What would be the point in inventing anything if there was no one to use it? There would be no reason to move from one place to another because wherever you went would be the same as where you were. No one would be there. There would be no pleasure or joy in life. It's your contact. It's your contact and experiences with other people that give you life, joy, meaning, and purpose. Because of that, your relationships affect your life more than anything else. To receive the life of your dreams, it's vital that you understand how your relationships affect your life now and how they are the most powerful channels for gratitude that start magically changing your life. Science is now confirming the wisdom of the great sages of the past, with research studies showing that people who practice gratitude have closer relationships, are more connected to family and friends, and have other people look upon them favorably. But probably the most astounding statistic that has come from out of research studies is that for every one compliment about another person, whether in thought or word, there have to be 10 blessings for the relationship to flourish. Any less than 10 blessings for every one compliment, and the relationships will deteriorate. And if the relationship is a marriage, it will most likely end in divorce. That's research, y'all. It says the most astounding statistic. I'm going to read that again for the people in the back. The most astounding statistic has come out of research studies is that for every one complaint, that means you out there, ungrateful. Ungrateful, complaining about everything. For every one complaint about another person, whether in thought or word, there have to be 10 blessings for that relationship to flourish. Any less than 10 blessings for every one complaint, and the relationship will deteriorate. So that means every time you complain about something, you're supposed to come back and be grateful 10 times. Say 10 things positive. That means for every negative, you got to do 10 positives. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. That's why we jacked up now. Gratitude-based relationships flourish. As you increase your gratitude for any relationship, you will magically receive an abundance of happiness and good things in that relationship. And gratitude for your relationships doesn't change only your relationships, it also changes you. No matter what your temperament is now, gratitude will give you more patience, understanding, compassion, and kindness to the point where you won't even recognize yourself. The little irritations you once felt and the complaints you had in your relationships will disappear. Because when you're truly grateful for another person, there's nothing you want to change about that person. You won't criticize, complain about, or blame them because you're too busy being grateful for the good things about them. In fact, you won't even be able to see the things you used to complain about. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. That is Thornton Wilder. He is a writer and a playwright. Words are very powerful. So when you complain about another person, you actually harm your life. Mm, mm. Let me say that again. Words are very powerful. So when you complain about any person, you actually harm your life. It is your life that will suffer. By the law of attraction, whatever you think or say about another person, you bring to you. This is the very reason why the greatest minds and teachers of the world have told us to be grateful. They knew that for you to receive more in your life, for your life to magically increase, you have to be grateful for others just as they are. What if every person close to you said, I love you just the way you are? Mm. How would you feel? That did something to me. I love you just the way that you are. How would you feel? Mm. Today's magical practice is being grateful for people just as they are. Even if all your relationships are currently good, which I doubt, but if they are, even if all your relationships are currently good, they will increase with more magnificence through this practice. And and with everything you find to be grateful for in each person, you will see gratitude perform its breathtaking magic, and your relationships will be stronger, more fulfilling, and more enriching than you ever thought they could be. Choose three of your closest relationships to be grateful for. You might choose your wife, your son, your father, or your boyfriend, your business partner, and your sister. You might choose your best friend, your grandmother, your uncle. You can choose any three relationships that are important to you as long as you have a photograph of each person. The photograph can be just of the person or both of you together. One, excuse me. Once you have selected your three relationships, I got my book stacked up. Once you have selected your three relationships and photographs, you are ready to set the magic into motion. Sit down and think about the things you are most grateful for each person. What are the things you love the most about this person? What are their best qualities? What could you be grateful for? Their patience, their ability to listen, their sense of humor, their eyes, their smile, or their kind heart. You could be grateful for the things you enjoy doing with that person, or you can recall a time when the person was there for you, cared for you, or supported you. After you spend some time thinking about what you're grateful for about the person, put their photograph in front of you and with a pen and a notebook or your computer, choose the five things you are the most grateful for. Look at the photograph of the person as you make your list of five things. Begin each sentence with the magic words, thank you. Address the person by their name and then write what you're grateful for. Thank you, their name, and for what. For example, thank you, John, for always making me laugh. Or thank you, Mom, for always supporting me through college. When you finish your list for all three people, continue with this magical practice by taking the photographs with you today and putting them in a place where you will see them often. Whenever you look at the photographs today, thank the person by saying the magic words, thank you, and that person's name. Thank you, John. If you're moving around a lot, carry the photos with you in your bag or your pocket and make an effort to look at the photos at least 3 times during the day, following the same procedure. Now, Now that you know how to use gratitude's magical power to transform your relationships into magical relationships, although it is not part of the requirements of this book, you may want to take this amazing practice and use it every day, if necessary, to make every relationship you have magnificent. You can use it on the same relationship as many times as you want. The more you can be grateful for the good things in your relationship, the faster every relationship in your life will miraculously change. Again, choose your three of your closest relationships and collect a photograph of each person. With the photo in front of you, write 5 things you are most grateful for about each person in your journal or on your computer. Begin each sentence with the magic words "thank you." Include their name and what you're specifically grateful for. Carry the 3 photos with you today or put them in place where you will see them often. Look at the photographs on at least 3 occasions. Speak to the person's face in the photograph and thank them by saying the magic words, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, John." Say their name. So, of course, again, we're going to repeat steps 1 through 3 of the magic practice. Number 1, count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. This practice sounds like it's so simple or like it would not work, but I will say, I when I did the practice, one thing I literally just noticed the other day is I was doing this practice and I had a particular person in mind, and some amazing things happened with me and this person, and our relationship got really, really close. And I feel like I got kind of back in this little, groove of complaining again. And the relationship got a little funky. And then I got back into gratitude and relationship got a little bit better. And so in gratitude, I'm like thanking God for the relationship. Everybody doesn't believe in God. The computer looked like a whole person over there. Everybody doesn't believe in God. And so, I mean, that's whatever. Look, that's your business. I practice gratitude and blessings from God. I bring a whole spiritual aspect into it for me because I believe all blessings and all things are coming from Him. And I do feel like, the more that I thank God for the things that I need, the more that you thank God for the things that you need, for the things that you take for granted, the more abundance I feel like He will, grant and give to you. And so another big thing for me is just the acknowledgement, because again, it is the little things. So I'll say this. I'll say this. When I first moved down here to Texas, when I first moved to Texas, I moved because, I was coming to help my dad. And my dad had 2 strokes, and I'm coming down to help my dad. And so things got really, really funky. If you follow me, then I tell a story. Things got a little funky. And so for me, I feel like all of this anger had developed, and I talk about it in my demonic entity series. I'm not going into all of that, but check it out on the YouTube channel. But I had all this anger inside of me, and I really didn't know, like, I didn't want to be mad anymore, but I didn't know where to put that anger. I didn't know how to process it. I was like, oh, I was so mad. And one of the things that I decided to do was I decided to think of all of the positive things instead of focusing on like the negative stuff that I was kind of stuck in at that period of time. I started thinking about all of the positive things, which there are a lot, right? Because sometimes when people and stuff is happening, right, all we can do is focus on, we so tunnel vision. We forget about all the things that people have done for us. All we can focus on is what we are concerned about and what we're mad about and all of this. We so tunnel vision with it, right? And so I was so tunnel vision in my anger that I could not even see. My father is a great father. He has always been a great father. He is a provider. He has always been, a rock in my life. You know what I mean? And so, but I just feel like, of course, I think we all have those things where, stuff happens and you have these little bouts or whatever. And so again, I had this anger. So I'm focusing, I'm going to make a very intentional decision to focus on all of the positive things. When I started focusing on the positive things, stuff was coming up that I had forgot about. You know what I mean? I was like, as I was praying, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Because, I teach about what emotions do to the body. My body had imploded. I talk about all of it on the YouTube channel, but my body had imploded in inflammation. I gained weight. I was 270 pounds. It was a mess. The anger, the emotion showed up in my body. That's all scientifically based stuff. It's not, anything that you make up. You can Google it, YouTube it. How does emotion show up in your body? And nevertheless, when I chose to do this relationship part and focus on gratitude with my dad, I'm looking at all of the positive things, and it helps me to process. It helped that anger to get up out of me. It helped me to get to a place of gratefulness. My father did so, and he has done so much for me in my life. So much. And again, it's just like you get so tunnel vision in the anger and in your emotions and in the feelings and all of the stuff that you forget. So I'm saying that to say, I don't know who out there is struggling, because the Lord just really just gave that to me to say, like, I don't know who out there is struggling with a relationship or struggling with anger or struggling with something, right? Where it is affecting you. If you can find somewhere, and I prayed, I'm telling you, I don't take nothing, I don't take credit for any of it. I prayed, Lord, help me. Lord, show me what I need to do. And that's what he brought me to. So I just, look, I beseech you. I don't have a better word. I beseech you. I'm asking you to try it, because at this point, what do you have to lose? If you tried everything else, you're killing yourself slowly, because anger is just like poison. You drinking poison and expect another person to die. Anger and unforgiveness, honey, some of the worst poisons, weeds, just, you know what I mean? So it gave me peace, y'all. It brought me to peace. If you do it like it's supposed to be done, very simply, say, Lord, please, just I ask the Lord for me to decrease and for him to increase. Not for perfection, just so that I can get all this out of me, right? You can get all this darkness out of you. If you can go back and think about the good stuff, think about the positive things. Just 5. Just 5. And when you real angry, you be like, I ain't got 5 things. But once you get over that, get over yourself and get over that, I promise you, I had stuff, man, by the end of it, I was, and this was before, actually, and I just realized how gratitude was showing up in my life and how the Lord was depositing gratitude in me before I started practicing it every day, because I had prayed for God to show me, and that's what he gave me that year. I have it on my, if you go to my clubhouse, it's one of my reflections, choosing me, guilt-free 7-day experiences. It's the 18th. It was my dad's birthday, and I was like, you know what? It's my dad's birthday. I'm celebrating him, and I'm talking about the positive things. I made a conscious decision. I was very, very upset with him that year, but I was making a conscious decision that I was not going to carry that anger with me into the new year. And that's what the Lord gave me. He gave me gratitude. And so I just want you to get to a point of healing. My purpose in this life, I've been a nurse. Y'all know me. I've been a nurse for 23 years, but I feel like my purpose in this life is on this side, while I'm on this side of heaven, is to help people acknowledge all of the subconscious things that are in here, the things that are affecting us that we don't even realize, to help you to have the elephant in the room conversations with yourself. That's my purpose. That's what my programs are. That's what I'm teaching about. The mind, the body, the spirit, and emotions, how it's all working together. It's a holistic approach. There's not another program like mine's. There just isn't. But this is not about the program. This is just about you. It's all kind of free information on the YouTube channel. You know your girl likes to talk a little bit. Go in like 30 minutes because I go in first, you know. 30 minutes. But that last out after the 30 minutes is my little intro talking because I gotta lay some foundation or whatever. But demonic entities, honey, check it out. I just want people to heal. I want people to get to a place because I didn't know all this stuff was inside of me. I had no idea. I honestly didn't. But I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe that God is a just because God. And so I pray that anything that I say, anything that you've heard from me, something that you've heard from me, you can take it, you can use it, or you give it to somebody else that you can, or put it in your back pocket for a day, for another day. Because, honey, life is always going to be life. And then life might be good for you right now, but, honey, life lives. So it comes back around. It just is what it is. I ain't wishing nothing bad on you. I'm just saying. That's it. Look, that's it and that's all. I am going to come on a little bit early because, like I said, your girl didn't have this time planned. So we're going to be a little bit earlier. I'm going to get a little bit more intentional, and I will start posting the times that I'm going to come on live. I'm going to look at my schedule, and I'm going to post the times. But as we close, this is 365 days of prayer of grief, for grief and loss, because so many people out there hurting. It is March the 3rd. The title of this is called The Dwelling Place. God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed. That is Revelation 21, the chapter 21, third and the fourth verse. That's the New International Version. The prayer says, Father, there is coming a day where there will be no more pain and no more weeping. I can hardly imagine that reality, and even more, I can hardly wait for it, especially in the midst of deep grief. The thought of death being a distant memory is a hopeful one, even if it feels far off and more wish-like than a coming reality. One thing is for sure, you are always faithful. Your presence is like a seal of the promises you've made. Come and fill me with your powerful presence that changes me from inside out. Comfort me with your tangible nearness and love. Encourage my heart today as I open myself to receive a fresh wave of your grace. Give me a taste of the coming goodness. And the question of the day is, does God's comfort in your present reality give you hope for the future fulfillment of his promise, of his promises? Does God's comfort in your present reality, that is, no matter what you're going through, the darkness, right? Do you feel God's loving arms around you? Can you find some positive in the crazy? Because it's there. Are you so busy stuck looking at just focusing on the darkness? The light is within you. It might be flickering. You might not feel like it's the light bulb is on. You might have to twist it, right? That is you spending some time with him. You might have to twist it to get your light to shine again. right? But it's on, it's in there. Does God's comfort in your present reality give you hope for the future fulfillment of his promises? That is the only thing that gets me through the darkness, is that I know in the midst of the hopelessness, there's some light down there. No matter any time that I've come out of the valley, come up into light, gone back down in the valley, come up into light. When I'm in the valley, okay, I can't see it right now. Look, it's all the way down there. But I know there's light down there, so I'm going to just keep walking. That's what I encourage you to do today. Keep walking, boo. Keep walking and find some positive in the midst of the darkness. That's what we're doing in those relationships. All right. It's your girl, Michelle Allen Franklin, honey, Miss D.I. For divine intervention. You know there are no coincidences in this world, only God's divine intervention in our lives. And Miss Community Builder, honey, because you know your girl is going to keep giving you this good information. Yes. Yes. We're going to have those hard conversations. We're going to have them together. We're going to keep going, and we're going to get through this together. Meet me here tomorrow. All right. Yes. I aspire to inspire until I expire, honey. That's what I'm doing, just like Miss Celeste Brown. What you doing, boo?